Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a world where appearances often take precedence over authenticity. It's a world of curated images where people wear metaphorical masks, carefully hiding their true selves. Yet, beneath these layers lies something far more profound: their character. Unveiling this core essence doesn't require years of observation. It only takes understanding how to look at the right moments. What if I told you that the way someone treats a stranger, reacts to failure, wields power, or even speaks about others behind closed doors could tell you more about their soul than anything they might claim? These seemingly small behaviors often hold the most truth. As Jordan Peterson reminds us, pretense fades in unguarded moments, and it's in these unfiltered instances that we find the person behind the performance. But what exactly should we pay attention to? This is where both modern psychology and the timeless philosophy of Stoicism converge. From Peterson's insights to the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, we learn that true character is revealed in 5 key areas. How someone treats those who can't offer them anything. How they face failure and setbacks. How they handle the temptations and responsibilities of power. How they speak of others when no one else is around. How they grapple with life's greatest challenges: aging, loss, and mortality. So here's the challenge. How do you measure up in these moments? As you listen, reflect on your own behaviors and choices. Are they aligned with your values, or is there room for growth? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this journey of self-discovery and philosophical exploration. In this episode, we'll dive into these 5 areas in depth, weaving together lessons from Peterson's modern insights and the timeless truths of Stoicism. Because understanding character isn't just about judging others, it's about refining yourself to live a life of courage, virtue, and purpose. Let's get started. 1. How someone treats those who cannot benefit them. Now, my dear friend, let's talk about the first key to understanding true character: how someone treats those who have nothing to offer them. This might seem simple at first glance, but it's one of the most profound tests of a person's values and integrity. Imagine this: when someone interacts with a person who holds no power, no influence, and no ability to reciprocate, all the usual social dynamics fall away. There's no advantage to gain, no recognition to earn, and no expectation of favor in return. What remains in such moments is pure authenticity. These interactions reveal whether a person's kindness is rooted in genuine compassion, or if it's just a tool used to further their own interests. A truly virtuous person doesn't measure the worth of others by their utility or status. They see inherent dignity in every individual, no matter their position in life. This is beautifully aligned with Stoic principles, where respect for humanity is a cornerstone of ethical living. Marcus Aurelius once reminded himself, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." It's a call to extend kindness, even when there's no immediate benefit. On the other hand, some may dismiss or mistreat those they perceive as insignificant. Such behavior often stems from arrogance, insecurity, or a need to assert dominance. These actions expose an inability to view relationships through the lens of shared humanity. How often do we witness individuals being dismissive toward waitstaff, janitors, or even strangers? These unguarded moments, though small, speak volumes about a person's core values. It's not just about grand gestures of generosity. Everyday interactions, how someone speaks to a bus driver, acknowledges a receptionist, or helps a struggling stranger, are often the truest indicators of their character. These actions are unplanned and unpolished, which makes them incredibly revealing. But this isn't always easy. Choosing kindness in situations where there's no immediate reward requires self-discipline, emotional maturity, and intentionality. It's a test of one's ability to act according to their principles rather than their impulses. So, dear friend, the next time you find yourself in a position where someone cannot offer you anything, pause and reflect. Will you choose indifference or kindness? This choice, though seemingly small, is a reflection of who you truly are. Let us strive, as Epictetus advised, to embody our philosophy not just in words but in deeds. After all, true character shines brightest when the stakes are lowest. 2. How someone responds to failure. Failure is a universal experience, something we all encounter at some point in life. But how we handle failure isn't just a reaction. It's a revelation of who we are at our core. Our response to setbacks and mistakes reflects our character far more than our achievements ever could. When faced with failure, some individuals default to bitterness, blame, or self-pity. They direct their frustration outward, pointing fingers at circumstances, other people, or bad luck. This reaction often stems from a fragile ego, unwilling to confront personal shortcomings. Blame becomes a shield, protecting them from the discomfort of accountability, but at the same time, it stifles growth. In their refusal to face reality, they lock themselves into a cycle of stagnation, unable to move forward. Contrast this with those who approach failure with resilience and introspection. These individuals don't view failure as a definitive statement about their worth. Instead, they see it as a valuable teacher, a source of lessons that success cannot provide. They possess the humility to admit their mistakes and the courage to analyze what went wrong. This mindset is rooted in the Stoic philosophy of using obstacles as opportunities for growth. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Failure is also a test of persistence. Some people give up at the first sign of difficulty, allowing setbacks to dictate the limits of their efforts. Others, however, dig deep, finding the strength to continue despite the odds. This perseverance reveals an inner fortitude, a determination to overcome challenges that inspires those around them. In the words of Seneca, difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Equally important is how someone manages the emotions triggered by failure. Feelings of frustration, shame, or anger are natural, but how they are handled is crucial. People who lash out, wallow in despair, or seek revenge expose an inability to process adversity constructively. On the other hand, those who reflect on their emotions, channel their energy into positive action, and maintain composure demonstrate emotional maturity and wisdom. Ultimately, failure is not just an event, it's a mirror, showing us our true selves. It asks us whether we will shrink from challenges or rise to meet them. Those who embrace failure as an opportunity to grow not only strengthen their own character, but also inspire others with their resilience. In the words of Epictetus, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So, the next time failure knocks on your door, remember, it's not the fall that defines you, but how you choose to rise. 3. How someone handles power. Power has a unique ability to magnify a person's true nature. When someone gains authority or control, whether in their personal life, workplace, or community, it often strips away the usual restraints that guide behavior. In these moments, their core values and priorities come to light. As the saying goes, power doesn't corrupt, it reveals. Some people, when given power, use it for self-serving purposes. They may seek to dominate, exploit, or manipulate others to fulfill their own desires. This misuse of authority often stems from deep-seated insecurities or unresolved personal issues. For such individuals, power becomes a tool to assert superiority, mask feelings of inadequacy, or fill emotional voids. They might belittle subordinates, demand control, or prioritize their own gain over the well-being of those they lead. These behaviors reveal a lack of empathy, integrity, and self-discipline. In contrast, others approach power with humility and a sense of responsibility. They see leadership not as a privilege to exploit, but as an opportunity to uplift and support others. These individuals strive to create an environment where people feel valued, respected, and empowered. Instead of controlling those around them, they guide with wisdom and compassion. This aligns beautifully with the Stoic principle of using one's position for the greater good. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, exemplified this by leading with virtue, often reminding himself, "Be mindful not of what others do, but of what you must do to remain just and good." Power also tests a person's ability to resist temptation. Those with a strong moral compass choose to uphold honesty and fairness, even when unethical actions could go unnoticed. Their integrity isn't dependent on external observation, it's an intrinsic part of who they are. On the other hand, individuals who exploit their authority or act unethically reveal a weak foundation of values. As Epictetus observed, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Another significant measure of how someone handles power is how they respond to opposition or feedback. A true leader welcomes differing opinions, understanding that dissent is not a threat, but an opportunity to grow. they remain open to learning and adapting, recognizing that leadership involves collaboration. Conversely, those who react defensively or vindictively to challenges often display their insecurities and inability to manage power constructively. Ultimately, power doesn't create character, it exposes it. It amplifies the generosity, wisdom, or cruelty already present within a person. Leaders who wield power with integrity and service inspire trust and admiration, while those who abuse it diminish themselves and those around them. So the next time you observe someone in a position of authority, look closely. Are they using their power to uplift or to dominate? The answer will tell you everything you need to know about their true nature. 4. How someone speaks about others when they're not around. The way people talk about others behind their backs often reveals more about their character than any public display of virtue. These moments, when no one is listening and there's no need to filter one's words, lay bare a person's true values, intentions, and mindset. As the Stoics would argue, words are not merely sounds, they are reflections of the soul. When someone consistently speaks poorly of others in their absence, it often points to deeper insecurities or unresolved internal conflicts. Negative gossip, for example, can be a way for individuals to elevate themselves by bringing others down. This behavior stems from a comparative mindset, where one's worth is measured against the perceived flaws of others. While gossip might offer a fleeting boost to their ego, it ultimately reflects a lack of self-awareness and a failure to focus on personal growth. This type of behavior also raises questions about integrity and trustworthiness. If someone freely criticizes or undermines others when they're not present, it's natural to wonder, what are they saying about me when I'm not in the room? This habit of speaking ill of others erodes relationships, fosters mistrust, and creates a toxic environment. As Epictetus wisely noted, first learn the meaning of what you say and then speak. On the other hand, people who choose to speak positively, or at least neutrally, about others when they're not present demonstrate emotional intelligence and maturity. Such individuals understand that their words carry weight and that kindness, even in speech, can build bridges rather than burn them. They prioritize empathy over judgment, even when discussing someone they dislike or disagree with. This is not to suggest dishonesty or avoidance, but rather a measured approach rooted in fairness and understanding. This principle is especially critical in leadership or professional settings. Leaders who uplift and advocate for their team members in their absence build trust, loyalty, and a culture of mutual respect. In contrast, those who demean or criticize their colleagues behind closed doors breed resentment and weaken their team's cohesion. As Marcus Aurelius advised, when you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize? Ultimately, how someone speaks about others when they're not around reveals their inner world. It shows whether they approach relationships with generosity or judgment, empathy or envy. Words are not neutral. They shape the energy we bring to our interactions and the legacy we leave behind. So, the next time you're about to speak about someone who isn't present, pause and reflect. Are your words building up or tearing down? Remember, what you say about others says more about you than it ever could about them. Choose wisely. 5. How someone faces life's inevitabilities: aging, loss, and death. Few things reveal a person's character as profoundly as their attitude toward life's inevitable challenges: aging, loss, and mortality. These universal experiences strip away illusions of control and permanence, forcing us to confront vulnerability, uncertainty, and the transient nature of existence. How one responds to these truths offers a window into their inner strength, philosophy, and resilience. Aging, for instance, tests our ability to accept change and let go of youthful illusions. Some resist it fiercely, clinging to the appearance of youth or the achievements of the past. This denial often stems from a fear of irrelevance or a deep discomfort with the passage of time. However, those who embrace aging with grace focus not on what they are losing, but on what they are gaining: wisdom, perspective, and a deeper appreciation for life. This aligns with the Stoic understanding that everything in nature follows its course, and resisting this flow leads only to unnecessary suffering. As Marcus Aurelius observed, time is like a river made up of the events which happen, and a violent stream, For as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place. Loss, whether of loved ones, possessions, or dreams, is another universal test. It is natural to grieve, but some allow loss to consume them, retreating into bitterness or isolation. They may build emotional walls to protect themselves from further pain, yet in doing so, they cut themselves off from growth and connection. In contrast, those who find meaning in their suffering develop a remarkable resilience. They acknowledge their pain, but use it as a catalyst for transformation, fostering empathy and a deeper connection to the human experience. As Seneca wrote, "What progress have I made? I have begun to be a friend to myself." Finally, the ultimate inevitability, death, is perhaps the most significant test of all. Some avoid thinking about it altogether, living as if life will go on indefinitely. This denial often leads to shallow priorities and a life focused on distractions rather than meaningful pursuits. Others, however, confront the reality of mortality head-on. They use it as a guide to prioritize what truly matters, savoring the present and cherishing the connections that bring meaning to life. The Stoics often reflected on death, not as a source of fear but as a reminder to live fully. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Facing these inevitable truths with courage and clarity reflects a deep understanding of life's rhythms. It demonstrates whether a person resists the natural flow of existence or embraces it with acceptance and wisdom. Those who navigate aging, loss, and death with grace inspire others to live with greater purpose and resilience. So when confronted with these realities, ask yourself, are you fighting against life's impermanence or are you flowing with it? By adopting the Stoic mindset of acceptance and focusing on what you can control, you'll discover a strength that transcends the fleeting nature of existence. After all, as Epictetus reminded us, it is not death or pain that is to be feared, but the fear of death or pain. So, my dear friends, you extraordinary Stoics, we've just journeyed through 5 profound ways to understand a person's true character. From how they treat those who can't repay them, to how they handle failure, wield power, speak about others, and face life's greatest inevitabilities, we've uncovered the timeless truths that shape who we are at our core. These insights, drawn from both modern wisdom and the enduring philosophy of Stoicism, remind us that character is not built in comfort but revealed through challenge. But this isn't just about observing others. It's about turning the mirror on ourselves. How do we measure up? Are we living in alignment with the principles we admire? And more importantly, what steps can we take today to refine our character and live with greater courage, integrity, and purpose? Share your thoughts in the comments below. What resonated most with you? Which area do you think is your strength, and where do you feel there's room for growth? Let's start a meaningful conversation and inspire each other to live up to the Stoic ideals we hold dear. Remember, as Marcus Aurelius so wisely said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. So let's go out there, face life's challenges with grace, and continue on this journey of becoming the best versions of ourselves. Until next time, stay strong, stay virtuous, and embrace the wisdom of the Stoics.